Hi everyone, this is Robin McDermott and my presentation is on using gamification in the classroom. So the objective of this 4-day unit is for students to play a gamified version of a Socratic seminar to argue about the legalization of medical and recreational marijuana. So why do we want to add play to a classroom? First of all, it engages the brain and helps with memory. It aids in the process of discussion, collaboration, and reflection, and it can help students to anchor experiences with existing knowledge. So how is this gamification? One is that it increases motivation by creating teams. It also lends itself to classroom management. Students will be getting positive points by being reflective and using text and trying to think about higher level questions. Also, they will lose points if they're disruptive, if they are off task, if they jump in while somebody else is talking and that sort of thing. And then it also adds a layer of fun by turning a discussion into a game that will earn them points, and the points can be exchanged for school money to be used in the school store. So I'll explain that in just a few minutes. So the unit that I chose to do this lesson in is the 8th grade class during the tobacco, alcohol, and other drug unit. The class period is about 42 minutes, and I'm going to use 4 class periods for this unit. The reason why I chose this for gamification is gamification works really well when there's a real world application, and the real world application here is using information that is proven, that's research based, to base an opinion on. I really want the kids to learn to use facts for something like this, because students come into my class with so many misconceptions about marijuana, and they believe it because parents or older siblings or other family members or even people in their community are smoking marijuana in front of them all the time. They are driving their kids around or their siblings around while they're high, and people in that community really do not believe there's anything wrong with marijuana, that they can drive better when they are on marijuana, and it's not doing any harm to them. So my students really believe that to be true, and they think it's just not a big deal. So I really wanted to find a better way of having this discussion with them, because obviously a lecture does not work, and I've had them try to delve into some of the research about it and come up with a strong argument, which was okay, but I like the idea of the gamification because it's going to get everybody involved and working in groups. So I think this is going to be a great lesson to use. So my unit plan, it's a total of 4 days. My first day is just background knowledge. I need to know what they already know about marijuana. So we play a little myth versus fact game that I created on Kahoot. And then they will use a thing link, which is the online annotation tool that adds text or video to a particular image. And they'll use that thing link to fill out a worksheet that's a marijuana body diagram to identify short and long-term effects of marijuana on the mind and the body. For day 2, students will discuss the difference between fact and opinion. I use a brain pop video here titled Fact and Opinion. And then they'll be provided with arguments for or against legalizing marijuana pulled from the procon.org website. Procon.org is a website that represents both sides of many debatable arguments using expert quotes, state laws, and extensive historical backgrounds. So resources from that site are used, and some of them are actually edited for students who have different learning needs. This editing process was completed with the help of Gideon Twig, who's a middle school literacy coach through the Office of Curriculum Instruction and Assessment, who we have this year based from a grant program, which is awesome. He's graciously gave me the time to help me set up these documents, and was planning on actually doing this Socratic seminar with me before we were out of school for the rest of the year. We help students make sure that they understand what they're doing. We go through the first argument together. One student reads it aloud at the end of each sentence, or couple sentences, I stop, check for understanding, make sure there are no words that the kids don't understand, and have them highlight what they think is most important in each of the paragraphs as we go along. So we do the first one together, and then I have them do the second one, and then we come back and double check that they're on the right track, and then they go on from there with their arguments. So students are going to be placed into groups according with their subtopics. So their subtopics can be things like physician's perspective, the economic perspective, teen use, traffic deaths. I'll probably pull 5 different arguments, and that's going to be the teams, maybe 6, depending on how big my classes are next year. So for day 3, then they complete their research on their own first, and then I have them regroup or group it back in their small groups based on their topics, and they are then able to prepare for the Socratic seminar, or because it's gamified, it's called the Socratic Smackdown. So on day 3, we also prepare for that by giving some background, what's to be expected, what the classroom is going to look like, how each student's going to have the opportunity to talk, and so on. So here are some of the student resources that I use for this game. One is Rams Prides. This is our school currency. This is exchanged for a choice of prizes from the school store. And then we have a couple student worksheets that each student will have to fill out. One is a coach card, which is completed during play for the glows, the things that they think that their teammates are doing well, or grows what they could have done better, or even questions that popped into their head as they're listening. So this is going to be for the students who are not talking. And there's also an instant replay card that is for team written reflection, and I'll describe these a little bit more detailed in just a moment. Then there's a scorecard, so a number of students will keep track during the Smackdown, which is a 6-minute conversation in the middle circle, and these are used to tally average points at the end of play. And then that's just a copy of one of the text resources pulled from procon.org. So for each of the pro-cons, I'll literally have one side of the worksheet is the pro, and the other side is the con. And this particular one is about the pros and cons of medical legalization on the economy. So day 4 is the Smackdown game. So day 4 is the actual game day. Hopefully, we can get people quickly into circles right away, because they have to form 2 separate circles, and it's something to describe for them the day before, and I'll have a diagram on the front board for them to get in their circles pretty quickly. During gameplay, one member from each team will sit in the inner circle with their tech support claims ready. There is a 6-minute timer that's visible by everybody. And then students who form the outer circle stay kind of close to their teammates to supply support if they need to. And then also during gameplay, the outside circle is provided with either the score cards or coach cards. And here are some little a little closer up that you can see what the worksheets look like. So here's a scorecard, and it explains what each of these means. So you can get 1 point for agreeing or disagreeing, and these are on the board. I agree, whatever, and so they add some information. I disagree because using evidence based on tech support for the argument is 2 points. Connecting or linking a person's argument with another person's previous statement is 2 points. And then the negative points will make you lose points is distracting the team or class from discussion, insulting, being disrespectful to another person during the discussion, calling them nasty names, or interrupting somebody who is talking. Oops. And then there the coach cards, I'm sorry, I went back forward a little bit too fast. The coach card is done by people on the outside circle. So students are either going to be keeping points, which I think I'm going to use about 4 kids keeping points, and everybody else will be doing their coach cards for each of the rounds. So the coach card would be the glows. What is the team doing well? The grows. What could this team be doing to make things a little bit better? Other coach tips is what I would have said, or a coach tip, what I want to ask was. So they'll be filling this out as the inner circle is having their argument or their discussion. So when they're done, everyone will complete this instant replay card. So the instant replay card is more of like a reflection. What did your team really do particularly well during the smackdown? And this would be after the entire game is done. What's one thing that your team could have done to improve on the next smackdown? What's a problem? Who did the problem hinder or during your discussion? Or how can that problem be solved? So, and also the last one is what's the most interesting thing that your team discussed and why. So a little bit of a reflection type thing that everybody have to fill out after. And during the teacher, and hopefully I'll get Gideon back next year, but if I don't, I may ask the librarian to be my extra person in the classroom, unless I happen to have an IA in my class. But I'm going to record this so that I can see really what's going on in the entire classroom and be able to go back and reflect on it. And also I'm going to do like a highlights reel, like a sports highlights reel, what went well, like little snippets or whatever. But as the smackdown's happening, writing the student's name down and just marking off the things that they did or did not do to add to or distract from the conversation. Teacher will also provide a list of higher level questions, and these are posted on the front board for the Active Inspire board. And then they get paid for their total points. So their payment is in Rams Prides, and the Rams Prides can be used as money in the school store. This is not a picture of ours, but it literally is just about this nice this year. They've got a lot of great stuff in the store, and the kids really like to shop in there. And the kids always say that we don't give out enough Rams Prides. So I think this may help motivate them getting these Rams Prides so they can buy stuff in the store. Okay, this is my project, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I'm looking forward to actually doing this in my class next year. All right, bye.